things are only escalating in the Middle East. This is news just coming in. The IDF now confirming that the Israeli Air Force has launched a new wave of airstrikes on Iranian military targets in western Iran, following Iran's launch of ballistic missiles towards Israel. This essentially then is a retaliation, they say. The IDF has claimed that the Israeli Air Force has struck several ballistic missile launchers and eliminated many Iranian soldiers. The number yet unknown. My guests continue to join me. Pratikit, you're there with us. Ariel, thank you very much. Burzine, Wagmar, thank you very much for your patience. We'll be joined by General Hasnain in just a bit as well. Burzine, Wagmar, can I come to you here? This was expected, right? An escalation was expected if the United States of America puts itself in the heart of the Israel-Iran conflict. And we are seeing that escalation now play out. Iran striking at Israel, Israel striking back at Iran. I want to ask you, Burzine, where you think this will end, given the fact that Iran is up against two major powers, the United States of America and Israel. What options do you have, really?
The regime doesn't have very many options at present as we speak. What matters now is a question of survival, sheer survival 46 years on of a regime that has been repressive, discredited, and is utterly stands exposed as a paper tiger in the eyes of its own citizenry. It also leads one to query aloud over the last 8 days these spectacular attacks that show how Israeli intelligence has penetrated Iran to the very core of its senior chain of commands, and Iran's abysmal intelligence agencies who have been able to do nothing about the fact, including downright drone launchers located within Iranian territory that have been creating havoc, never mind launches from airspace outside as such. So what could occur is, well, the question is of capitulation, regime collapse, or complete annihilation of defiance. It could play out any one of these ways, with Khamenei most probably trying to aim for survival, and also with the IRGC, the Revolutionary Guards, and the Iranian Armed Forces, and other economic foundations, the boneyards, who have much as stakeholders to keep the system going for what it's worth. But they may not be so in case it unravels and we see fissures within the higher orders. Nothing of the sort has occurred as we speak, but it could play out as such. And for the part just now, what must be realized that America has gone for maximum strength, so much for maximum pressure which was applied hitherto, which has now transformed into maximum strength and peace with strength. And President Trump's address to the nation at 10 p.m. Eastern Time last evening also goes to iterate that we will continue if Iran does not toe the line. And just prior to these attacks, the Geneva talks also failed when the European Union tried to prevail upon Foreign Minister Arakci to come to some reasonable assessment and surmise that Iran should release all foreign prisoners. It should open up its inspection sites. It should open up also its ballistic missile sites, which were never part of the JCPOA 2015 agreement and which was part of a lot of problems. And President Trump was absolutely right to pull out of it back in 2018 when he did so, because it had left the regime enough space to continue with its program of ballistic missiles, which would create havoc not just for Israel, which indeed it is as we speak, but also was a Damoclean sword over all its Arab neighbors, and was something of an impetus to its regional proxies to create havoc across the region, which has been occurring. Finally, insofar as these proxies are concerned, the Houthis will try to bolster some asymmetric, spectacular attacks. They can't do much more than that. Hezbollah is still seething down and out in Lebanon and hopping mad with Tehran that it never came to its aid in the first place last year. Iraq is practically not much to say except for a few Shia outfits who may support the regime as such. And that leaves us with Syria's Assad, who's gone on the ash heap of history. And what will happen now is that Putin has also lost Iran as a so-called ally of the axis of resistance alongside Syria. So this should be a blow to Putin as well.
Burzine, do stay on with us. As I said, we are officially now hearing from the IDF, from Israel. Pratibha, could you quickly take us through what they're saying?
So important update from the IDF that has said in the morning we saw how Iran had launched missiles on Israel, after which the IDF says the Air Force has now begun a wave of attacks against military targets in western Iran. In addition, this morning, Air Force attacked missile launchers in Iran ready to be launched towards the territory of the state of Israel. Soldiers in the Iranian military forces and closed the circle and destroyed launchers that had launched towards the territory of the state of Israel a short time ago. So Israel has now responded after the counter strikes of Iran.
Thank you very much, General Hasnain, joining us on the broadcast. Pratikit is here and Shrunjoy has joined us in the studio as well. Shrunjoy, thank you for coming in. General Hasnain, can I just start with you? We are seeing what has happened early Sunday morning. There are many who are calling this a momentous moment for the Middle East, for the world, but then there are many saying this is a momentous gamble as well. What's your analysis of what is happening in Iran, Israel, plus the US entering the war now?
Thank you, Shreya. Thank you for inviting me for your program. And yes, this is I2US war, Israel, Iran, United States, all three mixed in today. Early to say anything at the moment because we still don't have a damage assessment of what has actually happened with those three bombs that the United States has used. We've seen photographs of the evacuation of Fardo and places like that, but we don't know what exactly has been the impact. But having said that, since 2003, that's the time when I started following this whole narrative of the Iranian nuclear capability. From 2003 and before that, from 1992, I was following the entire acquisition of ballistic missiles from North Korea, from Russia, etc. This is something which has been in the making for the better part of the last 33, 34 years. To say, therefore, that something is being done to actually neutralize that entire capability which has been developed in 32, 33 years, obviously means it's a very important decision which has been taken. Otherwise, all this time we were meandering between negotiations, capping the program, all kinds of things like that. And there were denials, there were allegations. But finally, it seems that the United States under Mr. Trump has taken that decision to go in. Now, does that mean that necessarily Iran will cave in? Well, yes. Iran does not probably have the military capability to resist the United States, the capability of the United States and Israel put together. But this kind of a situation that we are seeing at the moment can continue for some more time. There is no doubt about it. And the suffering of people in the Middle East will also continue, and possibly the economic impact and other political impact of all that is happening is going to be immense on the whole world.
General Hasnain, then what you're telling us is that this is not ending anytime soon. It is only just beginning. Do you see this stretch out like the Russia-Ukraine war? We thought it will be over in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maximum a month, 2 months. And look at where we are.
I agree. That's a very good question that you have put, actually. But you see, this is one situation where you are finding Iran and Israel do not enjoy common borders. This is not about anything territorial at all. This is about capability. It's political capability, with weaponized political capability. If that has been neutralized to a great extent, obviously a level of asymmetry has been achieved. For that is why we have to wait for that final assessment to see what finally has the United States been able to achieve. But I, for one, at this moment, do not foresee the extension of this kind of a military situation extending into anything like Ukraine at all. I don't think Tehran has the capability to resist to that extent as Ukraine did, and they don't have that kind of assistance from Russia and China. Ukraine fired off the entire weapon of the whole of Europe. They had whole of NATO behind them. We thought that perhaps Russia and China would put their weight behind Iran, but obviously they have not. And therefore, under the circumstances, I don't see this going too long.
Okay, it's pretty spectacular to me that while the United States of America and Donald Trump were actually planning this barrage of attacks on Iran, he was there in front of cameras demanding a Nobel Prize for Peace of all things. Some latest information coming in. Let's quickly get you that. Amir Said Iranvi, he's the permanent representative